Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another Walking Dead comic book series, TV series discussion topic video. I believe I have cracked the formula that is used to convert the Walking Dead comic book series in terms of chronology, in terms of how much it covers, into each season of The Walking Dead based on the last 3 seasons. I want to go ahead and let you guys know where it's going to go in the future and how much we can expect to see in which seasons. This will be kind of a breakdown of the future of the Walking Dead television series based on the comic book series. Okay, so I thought this was a fun one to do because sometimes I get questions in the Q&As of, Trev, when do you think we'll see this? When do you think we'll see that? And this may contain some spoilers for the Walking Dead comic book series, as well as if you don't want to know anything about the future of the TV series, this video is not for you. This is going to kind of give you, if you've read the Walking Dead comic book series, some kind of time range so you kind of know what's going to happen in what season and what seasons to watch out for in the future, because the show is already confirmed to going to be going on for a long time. From the vice president of AMC has said they've got it planned out to like season 20 or something. So we'll see if it lasts that long, but I think it lasting a few more seasons is pretty much guaranteed. So at this time, we are up to volume 25 of The Walking Dead. So that hasn't been released quite yet, but it will be released within the next couple months. And of course, season 6 halfway through at this point. So let's start with season 4. Now, the reason why I want to start with season 4 really quickly is because that's when Scott Gimple took over as showrunner from Glenn Mazzara. Season 3, you had Glenn Mazzara, and he used a ridiculous amount of the Walking Dead comic book series. He went through way too much, and I think that's part of why he was actually chosen not to continue with the show, and they went with Gimple instead. And I believe I have cracked his formula. So I look at the episodes, episode to episode, and it looks like to me, and I've mentioned this quickly in the past before, but I haven't done as much research and gone into it myself as much as I did this time for this video. It looks like he covers 3 volumes per season, with sometimes a little bit more, like 3 and like a quarter of the next volume. So season 4 was when he took over, and that covers Made to Suffer, which is volume number 8. That covers Here We Remain. I'll put the numbers in the description, by the way, so you guys can see for yourselves and reference them. And that covers What We Become. You can see on the cover here for season 4, this is where Rick was biting the guy, and you all remember that at the end of season 4. Now, what I also notice is there's a little bit of filler in there too each season. And when I say filler, I don't mean like anime filler that's totally useless, but there's a little bit of add-in for the TV series that he adds into each season to space it out a bit. In season 4, we had the illness, and we had 30 days without an accident. So you had the illness stuff, you had the stuff with Herschel, the internment, and you had the governor rebuilding his kind of army again after he lost it in season 3, kind of getting it back. So we had almost the first half season where really it didn't use up much of the comic book series at all. It really strayed away from it. And it still did, though, use up most of this in one episode. Here We Remain, the part where Michonne and finds Carl and Rick again, and then Joe's group at the end there, and then just leading us into Terminus, which leads into season 5. So he adds a little bit of filler or a little bit of extra each season. So then we got Fear the Hunters, which was Terminus in season 5 and the end of season 4. So it just starts there, like I said, a little bit more than 3, and it goes forward with No Sanctuary, which is kind of add in for this to make this even more epic. Fear the Hunters. And you've got Strangers, Four Walls and a Roof, Slabtown, Self-Help, Consume, Crossed, and Coda. So the first half of season 5 takes up to, right up to there roughly. So it doesn't use hardly that much again, because you add in all the best stuff, which isn't in the comic book series. You add in all of that, and it takes up just to about right there. The second half, you have What Happened, What's Going On. Also kind of filler with Noah in that, because it doesn't exist in the comic book series either. Them, The Distance. Now we get really back into We Meet Alexandria, all that kind of stuff. It takes up those 2 up there at your top left, which, to translate, give you the numbers, would be in Fear the Hunters with Terminus, and then Life Among Them, and Too Far Gone was the comic book series version of Too Far Gone, which is where they have a party and stuff at Alexandria. Rick starts to get feelings for Jesse and that, and you see that kind of stuff happen. So that's season 5 and takes us all the way through to the end. Season 6, what we've seen so far, is 14, 15, and 16. So that includes No Way Out, which is the beige one behind the Shane figure there. It includes the blue one, which is We Find Ourselves, and it includes A Larger World, which we're going to see second half here. It's the orange one behind Morgan there. So then the red one just starts just like with Terminus, where it just started at the end in the last episode probably. And that is your Something to Fear. That is Negan's first appearance, which is why they included him, just like they included the Hunters right at the end. But just a taste of them, and then you get to you have to wait till the next season to see the rest. So season 7. So for the rest of the conversion, so that's up to the end of season 6. Season 7 starts with Something to Fear. Volume 17, 18, What Comes After, and 19, March to War, which goes all the way up to the green one here, March to War. So season 7 should be a great season, especially at the beginning with Something to Fear. What Comes After is pretty decent, and then March to War is really good. And then we go into season 8, which is the big one. Season 8 should be the best season of The Walking Dead ever. It includes All Out War, Part 1 and 2, and it includes A New Beginning. So season 8, I figure with that one, because you have the war, maybe they'll space season out with even more add-in and move A New Beginning into the next section, possibly add in a season, because A New Beginning has like a 2-year time skip at the end. So that might get pushed. They might add in another season there and push that out a while during the time skip. There's some important things that happen in the comic book series during that time skip. You have Andrea and Rick who get married in the Walking Dead comic book series, so we don't know who the female is going to be that replaces Andrea in the TV series if they go with the same story. But we're looking at it. Let's assume they don't put hardly any filler in. That would bring us up to season 9. Season 9 would include the time skip, more grown up Carl, as you see here on the cover, which is Whispers and Screams. That's volume 23. And then awesome volume as well too. They all are, to be honest. And then 24, Life and Death, which is just released. And then the one that's coming out really soon, No Turning Back, which is where Negan and Rick. It's kind of like where we're currently at almost. We're just past that one now in the comic book series. So that would bring us up to season 10. So at the end of season, so that all the books we've had released so far, all the comic book series so far, will be caught up if they don't add in a whole season of filler by season 10. If they stick with the current, volume per 3 volume and a little bit per season formula. So it looks like to me, based on the last 3 seasons, season 6, what we're seeing, what we kind of know we're going to see in the second half, season 5, season 4, I think that's his formula. He uses 3 per season. That would be 18 issues of The Walking Dead comic book series per season with his add-ins, because he adds in the character flashbacks like Morgan flashback and stuff like that, which he's added in the Beth stuff from season 5 and the sickness stuff from season 4. None of that happened in the comic book series. So he adds in enough stuff, he spaces it out like that, and it looks like that's what we're going to see. I do expect with the time skip in season 8, I think he'll add in a whole season or something of some new material, because that time skip is huge, unless they go through it like they did with the prison, where we end one season, next season we start off, and next thing you know, there's a huge time skip in between. But I think they should probably use that to their advantage to keep the TV series from catching up to the comics. As long as they release 18 comics a year, which they don't, they release less than that, the comic series should stay ahead. But if not, I mean, we're talking season 6 now, that'll be like 4 years from now, season 10, until they catch up if they don't add in a lot of stuff, if they stick to this formula. So by that time, we'll be way further on, 4 years from now, of releases. It's not going to catch up anytime soon or anything like that. But I thought it'd be interesting to go over season by season with you guys. I want to hear your thoughts on this. Where you think we're going to see what. It looks like that's what we're going to see. And season 8 is the season to watch. So season 6, yeah, pretty good. Season 5, yeah, that turned out better than it probably should have, to be honest, based on the comics. Season 4, of course, it should have been awesome because it had Made to Suffer. But season 8, man, 2 parts All Out War Part 1, All Out War Part 2, which is the biggest war in the Walking Dead series we've ever seen, with Negan and hundreds of people per side. It's just a huge war compared to earlier on in the series at the prison where you have like a dozen people. This is like a war. That's like a battle. This is a war. So that's going to be an awesome season. And then season 9 and 10 will be awesome too, because you get to see the time skip, and it's going to be interesting how they're going to handle that in the TV series. But definitely season 8 should be the most exciting one that they're probably ever going to do. It might be the best season ever. So let's get into a few of your guys' questions for the Q&A for today. I wanted to go through that. Please, let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to see them. Those of you who read the comic series, let me know what you think about that. It seems like that's the formula, and it seems like that's what we're going to see. So season 8, can't wait for season 8. Okay, so we'll do just a couple questions for today. The first one's from Al Aloof, and he says, hey, Trav, I've been asking this for a while. Who would win in a fight between Carol Peltier from the TV series as of Season 6 and Daniel Salazar as of Season 1 in Fear the Walking Dead? I did answer you before, bro, in one of the Q&As. Maybe you missed it. I don't blame you. I do so many. I don't expect you to watch them all. But I definitely would go with Carol between that one. I mean, Dan is pretty tough, but Carol is a super badass in the TV series. She is super, super tough. And maybe Dan down the road, if he survives, could become as tough as she is. But right now, no way. Just because Morgan beat her, that doesn't really matter. She didn't have a firearm, and her heart wasn't in it either. And Morgan, she knows that Morgan's friends with Rick. She doesn't want to kill him. So but. Morgan is tough with the staff. Anybody hand in hand against that, except for maybe Michonne, would probably be beaten hand to hand, or maybe Rick, of course, because he's maybe not if he didn't have. If he always has firearms, right? That's what he fights with. Rick uses firearms or his axe. So either one. Next one's from Rick Shelfat, and he says, "Hey Trev, happy or a belated Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, but I'm back. Welcome back, man. Do you think that Robert Kirkman will write The Walking Dead forever, or will he eventually get tired of it and go on to a different project? What do you think of AMC doing an Invincible TV show? As always, keep up the great work." Dude, I would love to see an Invincible TV show. That would be incredible, because Invincible is such a good comic series. That's actually one that, now that we've had a break, I've really been looking at, I want to read that, because I read it up to issue about 45 years ago, and I haven't read it since, but I just remember it's so good. It's like if you combine Superman and Spider-Man, that's Invincible to me, and a lot of gore and a lot of fighting, and Otley's artwork is really bloody, and you have characters with blood all over their fists and blood in the air. It's really, really cool, man. It's a really great series from Kirkman, and I don't think he's going to write it forever, but I think that he will write it for a long time. I think it's easy for him. I don't think it's that hard. I think he probably might be able to write a whole issue in like a couple days, like maybe 2 days, a month or something, or 2 days, or 1 day, and he'd be able to write the whole thing, because he knows all the characters so well. He's so into it. He doesn't have to do much for it. Image does all the, the publishing and everything like that. So, well, he does. He probably has a lot to do with it, but I don't think it's that much work. So I think he'd want to. Plus, also, if he gives it to somebody else, we may be disappointed. We may be upset. He may be upset with how it turns out. So eventually, I think he will, but I think it's going to be a while down the road before he does that. Plus, also, Kirkman, if you've watched, there's a Walking Dead YouTube channel where he actually talks about kind of as he got started with the series and started with comics and that kind of deal, and how he used to work. I think he worked at was it a hardware store or something like that? I've watched the video for years, but he's a regular guy just like us, So for him, I'm sure he's going to appreciate what he's created. He's not going to want to give it up anytime soon, I don't think. And hopefully he never stops writing it until he dies. But I don't mean that in a morbid way. I just mean Walking Dead, it's all about death. I think about death all the time. So, but I hope that he writes it until he can't write it anymore. You got George R.R. Martin. I just did a video talking about him, 67 years old, still writing Winds of Winter, still has another book to write after that. So he'll be writing in his 70s. It's something that Kirkman could probably do till he's in his 70s. We'll see if he wants to. I'm already satisfied with how long the series has gone on for. It's still the best comic series I've ever read to me. So, it is what it is. But I think he'll be writing until he gets an old age. Yeah, I think so. Or maybe he'll just take a break and come back to it or something, because he's got a lot of different projects he works on, but he does them all. Like, he doesn't stop doing one just because he has another, right? So hopefully that'll continue going forward. And let's cut it there for today, because I don't want to go on for too long. I know some of the Q&As have been going a bit long, and I don't intend to do that on purpose. So write it in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think, which season you're most excited for based on the comic book series. Is it 7? Is it 8? Is it 9? Or maybe 10? And what do you think they're going to do for the time skip and a new beginning? Do you think they're going to add in a whole season of new content, 2 seasons, or none, and they'll just skip over it totally like they did like they did in the comic book series? Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. Please do. And if you wouldn't mind sharing, favoriting, helps. And if you're new and you want to sub, go ahead and sub at the bottom left. That's it for this video. I may see you guys again tomorrow. As always, it's Trev. I'm saying peace.